Hi guys, this is David again, and today I want to talk about how mining, whether it's cloud mining or you're mining with your equipment at home, whatever way that you're doing your mining with, how that actually can relate to strategy games. And in particular, like one of the strategy games I'm talking about is one called Command and Conquer or Command and Conquer Generals, whichever one you want to take a look at. It's actually one of my old favorite games that I used to love to play all the time. And actually, I just found out from looking at these pictures on here that they actually got some more that came out too after the one I used to play a few years ago. So I might have to check that out. But anyways, I want to talk about how they can relate to that though, because the thing is with mining, of course, the more mining rigs you have at home, or the more cloud mining that you're doing online, whether it's Genesis mining or Hashflare or whatever it is, then of course the more money you're going to have coming in. And that's how it can relate to like these games, for example, because like to give you a start as far as how this actually starts out or how this works anyways, is like when you play this type of game, you start out with a command center first, and then from there, when you have your command center already built, then after that you can start to build other buildings. Like you can build a war factory where you can build tanks and stuff like that. You can have a barracks where you can have train the men and the army guys or whatever to fight, and you can start to have bunkers as far as for defense and so forth. But the thing is, in order to get all that type of stuff, though, you first also have to really work hard on getting oil rigs or supply depots or whatever the case may be. I found up here, there we go. I'm looking at Google right now, Google Images, by the way, as far as when I looked this up as far as the Command and Conquer stuff. But right here is a perfect example. On this map right here, you can see there's an oil rig right there. So a person can go ahead and take one of their army guys over to the oil rig. They can capture that oil rig, and then from that point on, after it's been captured, that money that's being produced from that oil rig is going to go to your own account. And then, of course, the more oil rigs that you have captured, then the more money that you can make, and that means, then of course, the more tanks that you can make to be able to fight with. That means the more buildings you can make as far as building more barracks, building more defenses as far as even like nuclear missiles. You can build airstrips and all kinds of stuff with these type of games. But of course, in order to do that, you first have to capture the oil rigs or the supply depot, which right here is another example. This is a supply depot that you can also capture. You can take your helicopters over there and they pick up the supplies here, but that puts money in your account by doing that. So it's really common sense as far as how you look at it, but a lot of people I think probably don't look at it as far as in that way. That obviously in order to get stuff done, you need to first have a whole lot of money coming in first. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that don't look at it like that. The thing is that a lot of people has been programmed to think that you just work a job, whether it's 9 to 5 job or whatever it is you work, and then that's it. On the weekends you go and party, and you spend your paycheck that you made party with, and then that's it. You just go back to work, Monday morning and do the same thing all over again. But that's the thing is you got to think about is that you're not going anywhere by doing it that way. You're actually going backwards because the dollar is going to keep going down as far as the value of the dollar. So what you want to do then is you want to make sure that you do have as many different types of income coming in as possible. So that means getting yourself set up some mining rigs at home if you want to, or if you want to do a whole lot of cloud mining or whatever the case may be. You want to make sure that you work on those as much as possible because obviously the more that you have those built up and the more oil rigs that you have in your arsenal, I guess is how you want to look at it, then yeah, the more money you're going to have coming in to be able to do stuff. And then obviously, of course, the more of those that you have going on, as far as the more money that you have going on, then that means the more bills you can start to pay. And then soon after that, we can also start to actually enjoy life a lot more anyways. So that means you can still, be able to go out on the weekends or even during the weekdays then if you're not, working a job and actually go out and do stuff. or you can take vacations or whatever the case may be. But that's something that I think a lot of people don't really even think about, though. But I mean, it's understandable why, and that's because so many people in the past has been programmed to not think that way. So many people have been programmed to think that all you're able to do is just work a job and that's it, and there's no other way of having money coming in. But that's the thing, though, is us people here in the crypto world, working on the Bitcoin and the crypto coins and so forth, we know better. We know that in order to really make some good money, you want to try to get as much mining going as possible. And of course, don't expect to get rich overnight. It is an ongoing process. But the thing is that the more you invest into it, then the better off you're going to be. And that's something that a lot of us guys here in the crypto world do understand, and even people that are new to crypto are starting to understand as well. So yeah, I just wanted to use this as an analogy, and maybe this can change some people's perspective and have people think about this in a little bit of a different way to try to help some people out. Because unfortunately, there still is so many people out there that are, like I said, programmed the wrong way and don't realize the fact that in order to have things good in life, you have to make sure you get more money coming in than you have going out, in other words. And unfortunately, so many people don't still realize that yet. But the thing is too is because in school they don't really teach you that type of stuff. They teach you all the crap that most people don't really use anyways. Most of the useless facts is what most of that stuff is, and that's if even some of that stuff is even correct and true anyways. So I mean, yeah, it is what it is. But especially with public schools, a lot of times that's what ends up happening though. But yep, that's it for this video. Pretty much, I just wanted to point that out. So, of course, if you guys do want to go ahead and use my link as far as the mining goes, as far as Genesis mining, go ahead and do so. That will be in the description area of this video. And if you want to go ahead and sign up for any of the other cloud mining sites as well too, go ahead and do that. I will also make sure my hash flare is also on there as well too. Here's another example. Here's two more oil rigs right there as well too. But yeah, go ahead and use the links in my description area. And if you guys have any questions or concerns, let me know, and I will try to get back to you guys as soon as possible. So thanks for watching this video, and you guys have a great day.